Hi, I'm Michelle from Michelle P's Astrology, and I'm here. I'm going to take you through the week of Monday, June 17th to Sunday, June 23rd. We start off the week really nicely. We have Venus just coming into a nice watery sign, emotional sign, which Venus likes because she's feminine and we like emotions and talk about things that are emotional. And it's going to be up sitting next to Mercury. So that's a good conjunction to have in case you do have to have any emotional conversations. It seems it's going to be trying the moon down here, if you see, is trining. So that's our emotions that are even double down on that when it comes to, and they're both in water signs. So that is a little validation to how we look at things to say, yes, this is probably going to be with conversations, sweet conversations. It's going to bring maybe not such sweet, but softness to anything that may be a strong conversation that needs to be had. This will definitely come across with more ease and probably less aggression if it has to be done. Then we come to Tuesday, which is the moon trines Saturn. So the moon is down here in its water sign, so it's feeling, it's emotional, and it is the moon is our emotions. So it's just kind of double down on, it's going to be a lot of a feeling week. And Saturn is our discipline, our boundaries, our taskmaster is what they like to call him. The trine is another easy flow. So this seems to be that we need boundaries, that we're looking, we want to focus a little bit more on our inner selves, our emotions, our moon, but yet there's something that's maybe taking that from us. So we need to really put some structures around us to try to really hold space for that. Would be a good suggestion. Wednesday we come into the moon trining Neptune, which sometimes will be, there goes our boundaries, but we don't want to do that. That's not what we want to happen. Let me just move this a little forward so you can see where I'm talking about. Here's the moon down here. So it's a little bit late. There it is. So the moon's here, and now it's going to trine over to Neptune. So those boundaries that we just tried to set up, we want to hold on to those. We're going to try to hold on to those as best we can. But what happens is this can be an inner processing, a processing of why we're putting up these boundaries. Are they really that serious? Are we being selfish? We sometimes have a self-critic inside that's trying to validate why we're doing what we do. But that's going to parse out the time to feel out why we are doing what we're doing, is to keep those boundaries in place. I am just as guilty as everybody of dropping everything and just letting myself go. And I find that I always feel a little better when I do hold strong to those boundaries. So keep an eye on those. On Thursday, Mercury's going to sextile Mars. So Mercury is here, up back, still with Venus. So we're still having some nice talks. The list of communication. Mars is the aggressor, but Mars has to answer to what Venus is doing. So Venus is making conversations a little softer. So it's going to have to roll with that. And with that, our communications, like I said, it's more of assertive rather than aggressive. It's like Mercury and Venus are over here having a tea party, but with some little sassy, quick wit sarcasm. It's going to be sarcastic, or so it's we have to be careful of where you're at and how we're giving or receiving information. If we're in the mood to joke, but yet they might not be in the same place, that might come across as a little bit of a, oops, should have not been so, that wasn't so funny, keep an eye out for that. Feel out the situation, read the room. We have Friday the 21st is moon squaring Neptune, and it's a full moon. So this is daydreaming. This moon squaring Neptune, this is where the square is a little bit more harder to, it's not as easy. It's something to work with because it'll draw you. Neptune wants to pull you away from, your feelings. So you'll be daydreaming. It's like it's good for music, listening to music, or, in your head, if you're thinking you're playing the air guitar and you think you sound like Eddie Van Halen, but yet if you put the air guitar in your hand, the actual guitar in your hand, would you sound like Eddie Van Halen? So we want to kind of keep it kind of grounded there. It's a nice time to get out of our heads. I mean, daydreaming is not, I'm not against that at all. I love that. It's how we come up with a lot of our most creative ideas. But this one might be with the square, might be a little bit more challenging to, let go of the unrealistic to bring it down to reality. So in that case, grab some music and go look at the full moon. It'll be beautiful. Saturday, we have the moon opposite Mercury. And this is our emotional processing, falling back in. This can have a sense of falling back into past patterns, which is, you always want to look back, don't stare, but you always want to look to see how maybe things have, like things that we repeat in how we react, respond to any sort of communication. Like once again, you'll see up here, we still have the Venus with Mercury. They're pretty far away from each other now, but we have the sun that has just entered Cancer. Hello, Cancer season. Welcome, Cancers. Happy birthday. And for that, it's going to bring a little bit extra sensitivity to us, our vital life force and stuff. We're going to we went from air to being like go, and now we're back into the watery, emotional, going into the body and feeling, which in some senses, like we have Venus there and Mercury, which will help, and that'll help us not be so, I don't know, sometimes vulnerable or not pushover. I don't want to say without sounding, it's like a weakness, because it is not. It's just sometimes we're more sensitive than other times. Finishing the week off with Sunday, it's the 23rd. We have the Sun trine Uranus. This is exciting. I'm looking forward to this. This is an at-home movement. This is like the moon down here is in it's in its exile, but it's still in an earth sign, so it's solid, emotionally solid. And the Uranus it's an earth trine, so they're actually the flow of emotional awakenings. You may find something come up to where you are those reasons for the boundaries show themselves, and you realize how important they were and are, and that'll just bring you forward to the next week's and the next cosmic check-in. So I hope to see you next week. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Take care.